That basement suite that you're counting on to help pay the mortgage, the city can order it shut down and give the owner 6 months to pull the kitchen right out of the house. Here in Surrey and White Rock, way more of these suites are illegal or unregistered than anyone wants to admit. If you're about to buy a place with a mortgage helper downstairs, or you're the neighbor watching 8 cars pile up on a street that used to be quiet, stick with me because this is the video that finally explains what's really going on. By the end, you'll know how to tell a legal suite from a financial time bomb, the different types of basement suites that exist, how Surrey and White Rock each independently treat them, and exactly what you can do about the illegal one next door. And make sure you stay till the end as well, because there's one type of basement suite that can never be made legal, not with permits, not with 100 grand in renovations. And if you're buying, learning to spot it could save you from making the worst mistake of your financial life. You only get one chance to buy or sell your next home. Let's get it right. Hey, before we kick off, if you're even thinking about buying or selling in White Rock or South Surrey, the biggest mistake you can make right now is relying on outdated advice or guessing your next move. The market has shifted, and what worked even 6 months ago could cost you tens of thousands today. My name is Darin. I'm a realtor living and working here in White Rock and South Surrey, and I've been helping families buy and sell here since 2007. Since then, I've worked with hundreds of clients, many of whom found me right here on this YouTube channel because they wanted straight answers, real local insight, and a strategy that actually works. On this channel, I break down exactly what's happening in our market, what to watch out for, and how to make smart decisions so you don't leave any money on the table. So if you want to stay ahead of the market, hit subscribe. And if you're serious about making a move, there's a link below to book a quick call with me or my team. No pressure, just clear advice so you can move forward with confidence. Let's start with the thing almost everybody gets wrong because everything else is built on top of this. What a basement suite actually is. A secondary suite is a complete self-contained home built inside your house. It's own kitchen, its own bathroom, a place to sleep, and usually its own separate entrance. And that word kitchen is the one that really matters here. The moment you put cooking facilities downstairs, the city stops seeing it as a basement with a fridge and starts seeing it as a second home. That one detail is what turns a rec room into a suite, and it's the first thing that gets ripped out when a suite gets shut down. Now, here's what a secondary suite is not. It's not renting a couple of bedrooms to students, and it's not a coach home or a garden suite. Those are detached, a little home in the backyard or over the garage. And in fact, here in Surrey, you're not even allowed to put a secondary suite inside one of those. And this is the rule the whole video hangs on, so tuck it away. Legally, you get one secondary suite per home, just one. A second suite in the same house is unpermitted. It's flat out not allowed. Now, hold on to that because it's about to matter a lot. Of course, there's a curveball though. It's BC's new housing rules. You can stack homes a bunch of different ways. A house, one basement suite, and a garden suite out back can add up to 3 legal homes on a single lot. But that's 3 different kinds of units, not 3 basement suites. Keep that difference in your back pocket because it explains a lot about what's happening on your street. Now, before we look at how the 2 cities handle all of this, 2 quick things to file away. They'll save you. First, when a listing brags about a mortgage helper or an in-law suite, remember, those are just nicknames. They tell you nothing about whether the suite is actually legal. A seller can call it a mortgage helper all day long while it's completely off the books. So the second you hear it, your next question should be automatic. Is this registered with the city? Second, the easiest suites to make legal are walkout or ground level ones because they already have big windows and a real door to the outside. The deeper and darker the basement, the harder this gets to do. And hold on to that one too because it comes back at the end. Okay, so the cities, same goal, 2 completely different systems. Surrey keeps a status on file for basically every property. And here's the good part. You can actually look it up online. It's free and it's easy to do. Now, I want you to picture a ladder. At the bottom, no record of a suite at all. One rung up, a suite with no building permit. The city can see there's a suite down there, but nobody ever pulled a permit to build it. Above that one, there's a mid process where there's a permit that's been applied for. or issued. And at the very top, the one that you actually want is an approved suite. It passed inspection and got final building approval. Now there's also a sneaky one called ready for a suite. That fools people all the time. That's not a suite. It's a home roughed in for one, so you could add it later with the right permits. The point is, in Surrey, you don't have to guess. You can check exactly where the property stands before you ever fall in love with it. Now, White Rock, they play it completely differently. There's no public ladder to scroll. Instead, a suite has to earn one title, an accessory registered secondary suite. The city reviews it, inspects it, confirms it meets the current BC building code, and registers it. The basics rhyme with Surrey. One suite per home. You can't strata it off. It stays part of a single home on a single lot. And a few White Rock quirks worth knowing: the suite needs its own heating controls. You've got to add an off-street parking spot just for it. And legalizing an older space usually means building, plumbing, and even fire sprinkler permits. But here's the White Rock rule every buyer needs burned into their brain. Once the city issues a notice on a suite, the owner has 6 months to bring it up to building code and zoning bylaws. And if it can't meet the standard, it has to be decommissioned, taken right back out, so it's no longer a separate suite. Hey, a quick heads up before we continue our video. If you're even thinking about buying a home anywhere in BC, you're going to want to grab a copy of our free guide, 18 grants and rebates for home buyers. We pulled together every program that we could find, from federal, provincial, and even some lesser known local ones, plus links, tips, and simple ways to actually use them. Most of these are buried, confusing, or completely missed by buyers, and this could save you thousands. It's free, and you can download it right now by using the link in the description of this video. Okay, so that's the landscape. Surrey shows you where a suite stands, and White Rock makes a suite prove itself, which leads straight to the question sitting underneath both of them. Can a given suite even be brought up to code in the first place? Because sometimes the answer is no, and that's where this gets really interesting. So here's the twist, and it's the part that can save you tens of thousands of dollars. Most people assume that if the city knows about a suite, if they're billing you fees for it, then it must be fine and it must be legal. And that is the single most expensive assumption in real estate, because awareness is not authorization. A city can cash your suite fee check every single year and still turn around and order that exact suite to be shut down. Paying the fee does not make it legal. It just means they know it's there. So when you strip it all the way back, every basement suite lands in one of three places. Number one, it's approved, permitted, inspected, final approval. You're golden. Go ahead, sleep easy. Number two, it's unauthorized, but fixable. No permits yet, but with the right upgrades like fire separation, proper egress, and electrical, it can be brought up to code and legalized. It'll cost you, sometimes a lot, but at least there's a path. And the third is the one I promised you at the very start. The suite that can never be made legal. Not with permits, not with renovations, not with $100,000 in expenses. And usually it comes down to one of two things. Either the ceiling is just too low, the code wants almost 6.5 feet, and the only way to get there is to dig out the floor and underpin the foundation, which realistically almost nobody's going to do. Or it's a second suite, 2 suites in one house, which breaks the one per home rule no matter what you throw at it. That's not a fixer-upper, that's a liability. And there's actually, now that I'm thinking about it, some other things too, like the actual size of the suite compared to the rest of the house. All that stuff matters. There's not necessarily just a plug and play rule that just generally covers every house. The details really matter. And let me show you what liability actually looks like. In Surrey, the illegal construction enforcement team can hit an owner with $1,000 fines daily, and the city can force the suite to be removed at the owner's expense. In White Rock, like I said, you get 6 months, comply or decommission. Your insurer can deny a claim or cancel your policy outright if there's a fire in an unpermitted suite. And your lender, they may not count that rental income at all, which can shrink what you qualify for or blow the entire deal up. And if you think this is just theory, it is not. Back in 2017, Surrey cracked down on illegal suites in East Clayton. The neighborhood was a complete mess. There's cars all over the street. You can't find parking anywhere. You got coach homes and basement suites. And if you had a coach home and a basement suite at that time, the basement suite was unauthorized with no hopes of getting it authorized. At that time, 175 households got swept up in it. Real families who suddenly had to move in a market where there was almost no vacancy. Now, the city, they took so much heat on this, they actually pulled back. So this cuts both ways. It's a warning if you're buying, and a reality check if you're the one assuming the problem suite down the street just can be wished away. Which leaves only one question that really matters. What do you actually do about it, whether you're buying one of these or living right next door to one? All right. Here's your game plan, and it depends on which side of this you're standing on. If you're buying, the rule is dead simple. Never take a suite at face value. Mortgage Helper is marketing, not proof. In Surrey, you can pull up a property suite status before you ever write an offer. And you're hunting for one phrase: approved suite. Final building approval. Anything that reads suite, no building permit is a flashing yellow light. In White Rock, you ask one question: is it a registered secondary suite, and can I see the permits? Then protect yourself in the contract. Make your offer subject to confirming the suite's legal status in writing. Don't just take their word for it. And do the 2-minute test I promised you. Go stand in that basement. Is the ceiling a real 6.5 feet? Are the bedroom windows actually big enough to climb out of? If the answer is no, you might be standing in the exact suite that can never be legalized. And you should be buying that home as if the suite income doesn't exist, because one day it might not. Now, if you're on the other side of this, you're watching this video and you're a neighbor, and your once quiet street is wall to wall with cars and suites. Let me be straight with you, because you deserve honesty, not a fantasy. A lot of that new density is now completely legal. The province changed the rules on a lot of lots. A single home can now add a second unit, like a garden suite out back. That you can't complain away. It's allowed, full stop. But the illegal stuff, that you can absolutely do something about. A suite with no permits, a real fire hazard, a second suite in a home, parking dumped all over the street. Both cities run on complaints, and they keep your name confidential. You report it, and an officer goes in and inspects it. Just to keep your expectations realistic, it is complaint driven. It goes after genuine safety risks first. And as East Clayton showed, cities move carefully because real families live in these suites. I'll drop both cities' reporting links down below in the video for you so you can find them if you choose to do so. And honestly, whichever side you're on, I want you to think of this video as a simple checklist, questions to ask and things to investigate, whether you're buying a home or tired of all the illegal suites on your street. And if you're actually buying or selling a home with a suite here in South Surrey or White Rock or other areas of Surrey, and you want a second set of eyes on it before you sign anything, you can book a call with me or my team. That's generally what I'm here for. Now, there's all types of homes in our community, different ages, different styles. And when it comes to detached homes, there's all sorts of properties out there with different problems and different opportunities. Coming up next, I'm going to be breaking down the different types of detached homes in South Surrey and White Rock, from ranchers to 2 stories to basement entries, acreage, and exactly what your money buys you at each level. If you've ever wondered what your budget really gets you around here, well, the good news is that video is coming up right now.
If you're thinking about buying a detached home in South Surrey or White Rock, you should know these houses have stories, not just who lived in them, but how they were built.